Welcome to Lights in the Night, the show that's exploring the unknown, one light at a time. I'm Russell.
And I'm Max. We're talking UFOs, alien life, and the mysteries of the cosmos.
Is anyone out there? Tonight, we're looking for answers.
Join us, if you dare. The lights are on, and the night is calling.
Lights in the Night. It's time to shine a light on the darkness.
Hi, my name is Dana Sardano. Welcome to Lights of the Night. I'm here with Russ Johnson and Frank Ruffolo.
You got it.
Yeah, our girl Max Duckworth, she is not feeling well. She's a little fluey, so she stayed home today. So Max, what's up?
Guess she left us with the master.
She left us with the master of all masters.
Master of Orion.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So hi, thanks for being here, and I'm going to pass it off to you.
Well, listen, I'm glad you're here. Appreciate you and appreciate the shows that you've done with us in terms of Jesus and Frank. Thank you very much, Frank. He's the master. What have you written? About 18 books. About a couple of books now you're working on.
Well, I've written about 20, but I've released about 15. So
Okay.
But who's counting?
Who's counting?
And the one that you're going to do. Tell us a synopsis about what the one you're going to do on all this subject matter, UFO stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
that's that one should be. That's not my next book, but that's the following book.
Okay.
I'm going to concentrate on the Jicarilla Reservation in New Mexico, in Dulce, New Mexico, about
Wow.
the
Underground bases.
underground people, underground facilities, the spaceship port that's in the Achuleta Mountains,
Wow.
and
See.
the underground facility, and then I'm going to talk about the Palladians in Antarctica and all that stuff.
Well, how come you decided to do research on all of this? I mean, most people are not aware of any of this stuff yet. What prompted you?
What prompted me? Well, I started writing about. I have a faith-based science fiction series that goes from the days leading up to Judgment Day to 3,500 years later, and I got into researching about that, and then I got into researching about Antarctica, and here we are.
So it's important to do your homework then.
I
these
did my
days.
homework, a lot of homework.
I know, a lot of homework. Dana,
Yeah.
tell us what got you into all of this. Because 98% of the people are not where you are yet.
Yeah,
But they're
yeah.
coming. Well, there's a lot of interest. What do you think in terms of, if I were to ask you, the people who say maybe, what kind of percentages would you give us today?
That I think it's definitely more than it's been.
Right.
I think with the change, the abrupt change in the world over we'll just say the last decade, but definitely in the last 5 years, people are questioning their reality.
Okay.
They're questioning truths. They're questioning what we've been taught, what we've been programmed to believe, and I think with that level of questioning, people are more likely to now question and be open to things that they never even considered before.
Okay.
So I'm not giving you a number or percentage, but it's definitely higher than it was when people were very much blinded by their programming.
Yeah. How long ago did you start doing research on this or open your mind to?
I think I've always known, because I have an intuitive nature, so
Okay.
I've always known that there's more than the stories they tell us, and there's more than what we believe to be true, like just on Earth. But in the last, I think, decade, I joke that the beginning of my relationship with my husband back in 2012 was based on us Friday nights watching Ancient Aliens in his apartment, and him
Watch it
thinking
all the time.
I was out of my mind because I taught history for years, so I understood the history that we've been taught, and my belief that there's more, and then watching Ancient Aliens. So that's, I think, where my being out with my weird. That's where it started.
Wow. People in your community are saying, she's something wrong with that lady. Let's talk about the history a bit. You talk about Barbara Lazar, you talk about Area 51. Let's talk about some of that history, because most of these people don't know that history.
They don't know that history at all. I mean, it started prior to 1947, which was the big Roswell weather balloon thing that everybody tried to think it was a weather balloon, but a weather balloon. And they brought everything to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, I think it was, and then, but it started way before that. It started when, I think it got really big is when they sent through Operation High Jump, and they sent Admiral Byrd down to Antarctica.
Okay. Okay, talk about that. That's
Okay.
important. That's important.
So-
that was 1947. Talk about that. Very important.
What prompted them to send Admiral Byrd there was that during World War II, the Germans set up a base in Antarctica. And so we went down there after World War II because there was a lot of rumors going on that aliens chased the Nazis out of Antarctica.
Okay.
Nobody's telling you about that, but that's why we went down there. And they tried to chase us out when we went down there. And there was a brief confrontation between the aliens and our people when we went down to Antarctica. And Admiral Byrd released in his diary or in his memoirs that he flew into an opening in Antarctica underneath the ice and saw a large community of aliens and a big, huge city under Antarctica,
Is that a
which
Garth
were
book?
which was the Palladians down there. And they told him, "Oh, you can't do that. You can't." And they shut him up. So
Yeah,
that never came out. But it's in his works, in his diary, and it's in his works.
And if
they've been there for they've been there since Antarctica was not under ice,
Right, right,
Since it was on maps.
right.
which was on a map
Yeah.
originally.
Yeah, especially during the 1930s, they decided, and Hitler and some of his crew took over around 1942, 41. They sent hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah, Hitler
down
was
there.
obsessed with the
Oh,
technology
absolutely.
and trying
Yeah.
to recreate it. That much I know for sure.
Right, right. And Adam Byrd, they sent Adam Byrd with 4,000 men and about 13 planes and 4 or 5 ships, which were all destroyed.
Yep.
But he couldn't talk about it.
He
when
couldn't
came
talk
out.
about it.
Yeah.
Or he would lose his rank and
Yeah.
his
And our
pension.
presidents, I mean, and there's been reports that Eisenhower met with them.
He
Yeah.
did.
So
1952, 1954, and that's documented, so people
That's
can
documented.
Could look at it. Oh, Project High Jump. They can look that up, search that up. They can look at the Adam Byrd, 1947.
right, it's all there, guys. It's all out there.
It's part of the history. Go ahead.
Part of
She's
the
a history
history.
teacher.
You know, you guys are saying it goes way back to like the 40s, but it goes way further back than that, because if you look at biblical history and history
Okay.
and you with me? Should I continue?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, you're right.
And
You're
and you go
absolutely-
back in this history, and if you take the religious goggles off, it's really, we have been visited and seated and assisted from the beginning of time. And it's, for me, it's a little bit frustrating, and I'm just going to jump to the next
Go
step
ahead.
because I know we're going there.
Yeah.
It's a little frustrating because now we're talking disclosure, right? It's just
Right.
as recent as this week, you know, Trump's going to disclose the UAP information and all the, the classified data. And now there's the talk. You have people afraid because a lot of people who are, again, I'll just say indoctrinated, for lack of a better word. They think it's demonic. So they're already setting the stage for us to be fearful of what's being disclosed and fearful of what exists out there, so we can, I don't know, perhaps create another war, or perhaps put us on, whatever it is to make us fearful. And the reality is, and I know this with evidence, that I call them they,
Right.
are here to assist us, like parents assisting their children in their development. And if we allow that assistance, then we can evolve, humanity can evolve in a way that we can live in peace.
Okay, so Zachariah Citrons, Elizabeth April,
Yes.
Billy Carson,
Yeah.
all the people reference this, even Stephen
Greer.
Dr. Greer. So if to go to those websites and listen to those people that I just mentioned, they would get that historical background that you already have.
Yeah,
Right.
I just want to bring up
Go ahead.
Elizabeth April and Dr.
Sure,
Greer, because
sure.
Dr. Greer will talk about all the stuff that you know, because he comes from a more earthly perspective, and the perspective of, like I said, with the military's experience and that disclosure, whereas Elizabeth April will give you the historical / spiritual perspective. But I think that if you do your research and you get a little piece of everything, then the tapestry of the entire puzzle will come together, and it will probably make more sense than a lot of the other stuff that we have been fed.
To whom would you recommend people to go do a little history, a little check, besides getting your book? Where can they get your book when it comes out?
My books will be available on Amazon when they come out, and they'll also be available right here in the studio.
Okay.
So you can get them there. But there's a lady you need to investigate, and I can't remember her for Moulton Howe.
Yeah, Linda Moulton Howe, yeah.
You need to investigate what she did. She really got involved right after Roswell, and she's interviewed people and opened up a lot of information.
And she's on Gaia with Truth, her Truth Hunters.
Yeah.
is her website.
She did a wonderful interview of of course they didn't show his face. He was stationed in Antarctica. I don't know if you know about. I forgot what his name is, but she interviewed a pilot that was stationed in Antarctica, and he would fly cargo
True.
across Antarctica, and there's areas where he wasn't allowed to go.
Yeah.
And he told the one story where a bunch of scientists went out on the ice in this one area. 5 or 6 tents, maybe 10 of them, went out in the ice, went out, and went missing. Literally went missing for about 2 weeks. And they thought, no, they're dead. They're frozen or something. And then they got a call after that from the guys. And when they went to pick them up, they didn't say anything. All they did when they saw the plane, they left all their gear, all their stuff there, ran into the planes, wouldn't say anything.
Yeah, very quiet. Nobody spoke about anything.
And nobody talks about it. He says, we asked, what did you see? And they wouldn't say anything. But they had to have been taken away somewhere for 2 weeks to survive in the cold of Antarctica.
Yeah, so just to follow up, I would say Linda Moulton Howe, who started her research in 1979, and she was an award winner, documentarian, if you will, about the cattle mutilations. She started there, so she's been around
And
a long
MUFON.
time. MUFON Society.
Investigate MUFON.
Yeah, there are a lot of MUFON societies around, and that's mutual UFO organizations throughout the world. So go ahead. You was about to say something. Go ahead.
No, I was listening, but as you're talking, what I'm seeing is we have two components, and again, the Dr. Greer and the Elizabeth April. We're talking about the things that are going on our planet, things militarily, but then there's that other piece that I have to keep going to, and that is like you have like somebody like Darryl Anka who channels Bashar, right?
For 40
and then
years.
back in I think in the 70s, you had Roberts. I can't remember her first name, but she channeled Seth. Then you had Abraham Hicks or Esther Hicks that channeled Abraham. And my dear friend, she was actually here last week on After Hours, the Brooklyn Cafe After Hours. She channels as well, and she channels, again, light beings and celestial beings. And all of these people who are channeling these energies are informing us of the things that you're aware of on a physical level.
How can people follow up on the young lady who channels? She has all that information.
Well, I'll tell you, my friend Anne Marie specifically, because I'm not friends with Elizabeth April or Bashar or any of those, but Anne Marie, her name is Anne Marie Scorty. She's written 3 books. 2 of them are fiction, but they tell the story.
Right.
But one of them, it's called Project Aura. AURA, exchanges with the astral. And what she does is it's a lot of her journal entries. And she tells the story of her coming to grips with her gift of channeling, but the information, because the channelings are in there, that she was receiving. And it's all about their assistance with us. And I just want to share one more piece that I think is so extremely important. As the world is becoming more and more unsettling, more chaotic, and as the powers that be try to instill fear so we become even more unsettled so we can be controlled. I mean, I think I beat that point home, but the whole point of their assisting us is to teach us to look within, to teach us to be more autonomous and more aligned, so we're not susceptible to the fear-driven propaganda. I got it, and I know we got to wrap it up, and
we'll take a break. That's all.
Yeah, about to say that we can evolve and be happy and healthy and not be scared.
Yep. So when we come back from the break, I would want you to capsulize succinctly. The Jesus kind of.
The Jesus stuff. Okay.
Right. So we'll take a break here. Lights in the Night. I'm Russell. This is Frank and Dana. Thank you very much for listening.
Yeah.
We'll be right back in a minute.
Lights in the Night is brought to you by Super Patch, revolutionizing wellness through cutting-edge neurotech patches that help you feel, move, and live better. Whether you're seeking improved balance, energy, or overall well-being, Super Patch has a solution for you. For more information, call 561-302-2588 or visit us online at ufo.superpatch.com. Take the first step to a better you with Super Patch.
We're back, and the night is getting darker.
The lights are still on, and the truth is waiting. Stick with us.
More mysteries, more lights in the night.
One. Hey, thank you very much.
Hey, we're here again.
Thank you very much for coming back with us. We were going to talk about succinctly the program that we did on Jesus, and maybe you want to participate. You're saying that Jesus, the figure, that he was probably an alien who came here to help us.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Explain that to us.
So I know I started to go off on a rant before, but essentially Jesus and other figures like Siddhartha Gautama, like a lot of anybody who tried to convey the message of unity consciousness, of living with compassion and forgiveness and love and unity, that's a higher consciousness that is here to assist us in our growth.
Right.
And what I was mentioning Anne-Marie before, she's channeling those higher consciousnesses and writing books. Bashar, they're all these higher consciousnesses to help us in our evolution. That's what's happening.
We got a lot of help.
We got a lot of help. We just have to be receptive.
Right. Help us out here.
Help us out how?
Just explain to the new people. See, this is like UFO 101.
This is UFO 101?
Yeah, this is basic stuff, right? Because there are other people who are more brilliant than I am are out there
Way
writing
more
books.
brilliant.
Or maybe.
So, but a lot of people who may be listening kind of have a little apprehension, kind of say, I don't know whether that's true or not, whatever. So help us out. Help us out. And help them.
You need to understand that if you believe the universe was created by a higher force, so if you want to say something called a God or God created the universe, because you can't create something from nothing. Like, the universe is nothing. It's a vacuum. There's nothing. And all of a sudden, you cannot all of a sudden create something from nothing. So something created all of this out there. Created the planets, created the atoms, created the miracle, created all the minerals, the atoms, the supplements, whatever it is, earth, grass, air, everything was created by something or someone or some being. I call it God. Somebody may call it somebody else. And since there are millions and millions and millions of galaxies and millions and millions and millions of stars and millions of solar systems,
Trillions, right?
and trillions,
Right.
people, we cannot be the only ones
Okay.
living here. We
Dana,
cannot be
help
the
us
only
out.
life in the universe.
Dana has something to say. Dana.
Dana's just smiling because I still can't believe we're still having this conversation. Like, not us, but like trying to convince people that
There's other life out there.
like,
But we've been programmed like the Truman Show. We're in that cold.
Where
Yeah,
we've been
Richard.
right.
yeah,
Whatever.
yeah,
But there are other life out there.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So we got to expand because a lot of people think they aren't. There's nothing out there.
yeah. So here are my thoughts. If anybody who's listening or watching us,
Right.
is likely, if not a believer, willing to listen.
Right.
So what I would say to those people is, if you are curious, then somewhere in your soul you know. And if you want to learn more, all of these resources, the Greer and the Elizabeth April and the Bashar and my dear friend Anne-Marie Scourty, you can buy her book, and all of and Frank's books. But I think it always goes back to you, because the more grounded and the clearer you become in who you are, and the more introspective you become, the more open and receptive you are to whatever assistance it is that they are trying to offer us.
And the information is out there, and not just in the Judeo-Christian religion.
Right.
I mean, it's noted in India. It's noted in
Yeah.
Buddha. It's noted. It's noted in the Middle East. It's noted. I mean, the Anunnaki's been noted, and Indian has been noted, and all these things that
Ancient
happened in the
Sumerian
past are written and noted.
Yeah.
So it's out there for you to investigate and to open up your mind to the universe,
To think bigger.
to think a little bit bigger than just Earth.
Van Daniken did Chariot of the Gods.
Yeah.
There you go.
And Zachariah Sitchin's read a number of books, especially to the 12th planet.
I mean, there's hieroglyphs. There's hieroglyphs in the pyramids of Egypt that show helicopters and airplanes. So, and everybody say, "Oh, well, that's just, well, they just did another hieroglyph on top of a hieroglyph." No, look
Yeah.
it up,
Yeah.
people.
We've been taught that
We've
that a
been
lot
lied
of
to.
these stories are mythology, though.
Right.
Like any story that's not the Bible that we subscribe to, we're taught it's mythology. And where there's smoke, there's fire. So if you really look at these stories, there's truth and fiction to everything.
Right.
So if you look at the stories and again use your own discernment and try to see what makes sense to you, you will expand your awareness. And then when more information, because it's coming, disclosure is coming.
Yeah.
When this information comes to you, then you could utilize proper discernment. You know what I mean?
William Tompkins was approached back in 1930s, and he just passed. So if they put up William Tompkins, search back in 1930s, he was a creator of the spaceships that are out there today. So
Tesla.
yep. And you mentioned another gentleman back in 1979 came forth from Area 51. Who was that?
Well, Lazar came from
Okay,
Area
Bob
51.
Lazar.
Right.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of history out there.
Yeah.
A lot of history. Most people haven't done their homework.
Yeah.
And they haven't thought about that.
There was a very good interview done on 60 Minutes back in the early 60s I think his name was Bird, who was the CEO of Lockheed and was in charge of the Skunk Works. And he retired. He's since passed, but I think it was in 62 or 63 where he was interviewed on 60 Minutes. And he was asked point blank about if the United States has engineered or back engineered alien technology into what's being built in the Skunk Works. And his answer was, I can't tell you that, it's classified. But what he did say, the very next sentence he said was, we possess the technology to send ET home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was in 1963. So the SR-71 spy plane, which was fabricated and designed in the 50s, is still officially the fastest airplane ever built, which can travel in excess of, they don't give you an exact figure, but it says it can travel in excess of Mach 3. That's 50 technology. What are they building? What's 2020 technology
Wow.
that we don't know about?
Wow. Wow.
You know, to your point, and I just want to circle back to Tesla,
Right.
it's becoming apparent to me that there is a lot of hidden technology that the government and I think other organizations are holding on to. And by holding on to this, by holding on to this technology, they hold on to the power. And by releasing it, they release their power, and that's the fear that the powers that be hold.
I think Dr. Greer has done us a great service.
He's amazing.
He has the documentary Unacknowledged.
Yeah, it's awesome.
700 million people have watched that. The one recently is the Lost Century. Is about an hour, 15 minutes. You can Google that and watch it for free. And he gives us the whole history over the last 100 years of what's been going on.
That's worth the watch for sure.
I think we're getting down to, like she said, time.
I'm not sure.
Right, I don't know.
Yeah.
3 minutes.
Right, 3 minutes. For wrap-up time, take a minute. She's going to take a minute, and I'll wrap it up. Go ahead, take a minute.
Okay, you need to open up your mind and realize that the center of the universe does not revolve around this planet. That there are many, 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 many different civilizations out there. And I don't want to put strike any fear into anybody, but not all of them are nice.
You're right.
Yeah.
Madam?
I guess I would just say that there's a lot of unrest, and to Frank's point, you know, there are entities that may not be nice, but at the end of the day, if each of us can get a lock on our own personal sovereignty, we are less susceptible to the not niceness, whether it be on this planet or whether it be off planet. So that's the only answer. That's the only answer to what's coming next.
A lot of not niceness here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then we have a guy called Michael Seller. He's written about 18 books. And he has a podcast called Exopolitics. So I would tell people Bashar, Elizabeth April, Linda Moulton Howe, Laura Eisenhower. I mean, it goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for listening. And Frank, Dana, thank you very much for being
Thank you
here.
very
Thank
much
you.
for having.
Thank you
and
for
anytime
having
we
us.
want to explore the outside, let me know.
Well, this has been Lights in the Night. I appreciate you having here and getting this information. Thanks very much for listening. Next week, same time, same place, right here.
The lights are fading, but the mystery remains.
Join us next time on Lights in the Night. Same time, same darkness.
Until then, keep looking up.
The night is watching.
Lights in the night, where the unknown illuminates.